Yo guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm delighted to be joined by the ex-Hibs manager, John Hughes. Thank you for taking your time out, John.
Aye, it's been a while since I've met you, Darren, I think.
Oh,
way back, I think it was, 11 years ago when I was manager at Hibs?
Oh, Jesus, that's a long time.
A long time, aye.
So the first question I've got is, what made you be a footballer?
What made me be a footballer? It was just my passion. Growing up as a kid, my brothers, we all played football in the street, and that was every kid's dream, to become a professional footballer. So it was my passion since I was playing with my big brothers, playing with all my cousins, always playing football from morning to night. And that's all I wanted to be a footballer. It was every kid's dream growing up, so I was no different.
What made you be a defender?
Because I was useless at everywhere else. Actually, when I was growing up, I played in all the positions. I've played in midfield, I've played centre forward, I played right back. And it wasn't until I went to Falkirk. I actually went to Falkirk as a centre forward. But I ended up going back to centre half, and that suited me, Darren, when I could see the game in front of me. You know, I could see it coming, it suited me. And I enjoyed it. And I suppose I enjoyed the art of defending, you know, keeping clean sheets and playing against, you know, and pitting your wits against good centre forwards and good players and try to dominate them and everything that goes with being a defender. So I really enjoyed it, and that was me. And that was at the age of about 24 when I started playing defender.
So my age. When did you become a manager?
When did I become a manager?
Oh, why?
Well, it's the next best thing to playing. Becoming a manager. If you're not going to play football, when we all get too old to play football, the next best thing is to go into coaching and management. I was always, even for at early ages, my football career, I was always going to be a coach. I'd done my coaching badges, my first coaching badge at the age of 25, because it intrigues me, football, how the game should be played. And I always wanted to be a coach and a manager. I've always captained most of the teams that I've played for, so I've always had those natural leadership qualities. I'm a natural enthusiast in terms of my enthusiasm. It rubs off on people. So, and I was always intrigued in terms of about football. I don't think you just put a strip on and go out there and run about. I think there's more to football. And so there's always been that. So it was always in my blood to become a coach and a manager.
Best player you've played with?
Best player I've played with? I've got lucky. I'm a lucky boy. I've played with a lot of good players. You know, for Celtic, from, you know, Di Canio, Van Hooijdonk, John Collins, McStay, Andres Tom Boyd, a great team at Celtic. But the best player I probably played with is Russell Latipi. You would have known Darren at Hibs. You would have bumped into him at Hibs when you were a young supporter. Russell was a genius. I also played with Frank Sosie. Frank Sosie was a genius as well, an absolute. But Frank, when he came to Hibs, was probably past his best. His best days were probably when he played for Marseille and France, winning the European Cup. Russell was probably at his peak when he was at Hibs. But what a footballer. He was natural, left foot, right foot. He was outstanding footballer and a great guy, I have to say that. A really good lad.
Best player you've played against?
The best player I played against is Paul Gascoigne. Paul Gascoigne was world class. He was a genius. Come up against him, half a dozen times. When he played for Rangers, he had everything: left foot, right foot, score goals, make goals, great engine, and a real top player. That was the best player I've come up against. But being a defender, the best striker I've come up against was a boy called Patrice Loco that played for PSG. When Celtic played against him in Europe, PSG went on to win it that year, the European Cup, Winners' Cup. His movement was second to none. It was art, and he was so quick. Never played in front of you, always played on your shoulder, always looking to get played in. And you had to be right on your toes. He was a very good striker. Most physical battle that I've had, you're talking about Mark Viduka, Mark Haitley, these guys. But I loved that battle. I enjoyed the battle. I enjoyed that fight. These guys, like Patrice Loco and Ali McCoy, these guys that play on your shoulder and you're always looking for where they are. They're the ones that cause you the problems with that movement. But the best player, as I say, the best player played against Paul Gascoigne, but the best striker is Patrice Loco.
Best team you've played with?
Best team I played with, I've been lucky because my ambition was always to play for Celtic and Hibs. And I got the chance to play for the two of them, so I've been a very lucky boy. So it's these two teams. Being a supporter of the two clubs, and so to get to play for them, I fulfilled my ambitions.
Best team you've managed?
Best team I've managed? Well, once again, all my teams, I've been lucky. I got the chance to go into coaching and management. Even going right back to Falkirk, I had great times at Falkirk as a player. When I played away there in the 90s, early 90s, it was probably for spirit, team spirit and character and camaraderie within that dressing room. It's probably the best dressing room I've been in terms of good bunch of boys. So I had fantastic. So to get the chance to go and manage Falkirk was fantastic. And then, as you say, to go on and manage Hibs was a dream of mine. And then to go and manage Inverness and get the success that I had at Inverness, 2 cup finals and winning the Scottish Cup and getting them into Europe, with a so-called provincial club, you had to go and coach them. And it was great. So to do that, but I got lucky because I had a real good bunch of boys that were very receptive to how I seen the game, how I see the game getting played, and they took it on board and implemented all my ideas, and it come to fruition and got good success. So it's just I've enjoyed managing every club I've been at.
Best left back you've worked with?
Best left back I've worked with. My best left back I've worked with is Lewis Stevenson's a manager's dream. He's a manager's dream, Lewis, because you get what every minute, every time he comes in training, it's like he's playing a game. He trains, he's a great professional, never gives you a bit of trouble, gets on with it, and a real good player. I think he's been Hibs' best player for the last few years. Graham Shinney, when I was up at Inverness, was a machine. He was a machine. He played left back for me, although when he went to Aberdeen, he played midfield, but left back, and he was just constantly, non-stop. So I've been lucky there as well for these two guys. And a young guy that I worked with at Falkirk, he's a young academy kid. We signed him at 15, and to see him, a boy called Thomas Scobie. But to see him coming into the first team and see him progressing for a 15-year-old kid and maturing into the first team and playing so many games for Falkirk, you take great pride in that, because you've developed them. So they're all different ones. They're all different ones. But these are the ones. That's what I've coached in terms of playing. You know, I played with Tosh McKinley at Celtic. He played left back and he was outstanding. Very, very good lad and a great footballer. You know, could play, real good footballer, could look after the ball. So it's all different. They've all got different attributes, but every one of them, I've enjoyed working with them and playing with them.
Best goal you've scored?
The best goal I've scored, well, probably easy, probably the Old Firm when I scored for Celtic against Rangers. It was nip and tuck for the league that year. Rangers were a right good side. That year we only lost one league game, and Rangers still won the league. So just shows you how tight it was. But it was going into the last quarter of the season, and it was at Ibrox, St Patrick's Day. Rangers were beating us 1-0, and I scored a header in the last 5 minutes to get us a 1-1 draw. So that's probably I never scored many goals being a defender, but that's probably the best goal I've scored.
Best celebration you've done?
Well, I didn't go in for celebrations because I didn't score too many goals. But if you ever see that goal and you see the emotion on my face after I scored it, the tears were running down my face. It was that emotional scoring. And to score it at Ibrox in the Celtic end, it was St Patrick's Day. You feel, you know what it feels to the supporters. And that was it. The camera went on someone else, but eventually it come back to me and the tears were streaming down my face, just with the emotion of the game and scoring the goal. So that's how much it meant to me. In terms of celebration, I'm a wee bit, you know, I didn't score many goals to celebrate. But I enjoy it. I think it's a massive part of the game. You know, but I'm just a kind of Alan Shearer one with just a hand up in the air, and there you go, get back and get the back and get on with the game. But I love watching Ian Wright and the celebrations he come up with, Ronaldo and all these stuff. It's part of the game, it's entertainment. You know, the fans want to see that. And if you inspire a young guy to see someone to score a goal so they can do your celebration, you're encouraging them to play football, and that's what football's all about.
Best stadium you've played in?
The best stadium I've played in was probably, I'm just trying to think here, I played the Parc des Princes over in Paris when we played PSG, was fantastic. But just home, I love playing at Parkhead, Ibrox, Easter Road, but the best one's probably Tynecastle. I enjoy Tynecastle. I enjoy the atmosphere. The fans are right on top of you, and I like to go there and make sure you get a result. It's a fantastic atmosphere. It's not the best stadium, but in terms of atmosphere, nice and tight, it's very enjoyable. But the best stadium, I think, in Scotland is Parkhead. That's fantastic. So it'd probably be Parkhead, or, as I say, the Parc des Princes over in Paris when we played PSG. I don't like these ones with a big running track around them. I think the fans are too far away. And that's what I'm saying about Tynecastle. They're right on top of you. And that adds to a fantastic atmosphere.
I was about to say, have you turned the jambo? Best kit you've been in?
The best kit has to be the Celtic kit, the hoops and the Hibs. It was for the simple reason, Darren, it was my two clubs growing up. So when you get the chance to put the kit on, it's absolutely fantastic. But there's something about me, I like white. And when you put the white socks on, or the white and green socks and the white shorts, I just think it makes you feel 10 feet tall. So Celtic and Hibs, I have to say that. And I like the kits, I'm into all the kits. But there's something about white that I just go, yeah, aye. And it's important if you look at the great Bull Shankly, you know, he changed the Liverpool strip to all red. you know, and he just felt, yeah, that was it. So every club, but I like the colours, I like the hoops, I like the Barcelona stripes, I like the plain colour all red at Liverpool, Juventus.
Dean.
Aye, the Dean, aye. The red of the Gallifrey Dean. But as I say, it has to be Celtic and Hibs.
What team do you support?
Hibs and Celtic. When I was a young kid, I was a Celtic supporter. And I used to go on the Leaf Celtic supporters bus that used to leave for the Foot of Leaf Walk and go straight to Parkhead and watch Celtic. But I was always playing football, but I used to play football on a Sunday. And then when I got to an age of 13, I think it was 13 or 14, the juvenile, we started playing on a Saturday. So that means I couldn't get to Parkhead to watch Celtic. So I used to play on a Saturday and nip up to Easter Road to watch Hibs. And that's where my allegiance changed a little bit. And all my mates were Hibs supporters. So, and that's where we changed. Never paid in. I always used to jump over the wall and get up and skip in and all that, watched Hibs. But, and that's where it changed. So, you know, it's always been the two clubs. But for most part of my life, it's been Hibs, you know, for the age of 15. So, you know, but Celtic as a young kid, my father was a Celtic supporter. You know, but it was Celtic for a young kid, but changed. And I like that. I think if you're homegrown Edinburgh boy, then you either support Hibs or Hearts. I was for this side of the city in Edinburgh, the Leaf side, born and bred Leafer. So, you know, I think you should support your hometown club, and Hibs were mine. But saying that, I'm contradicting myself there because I was a young my dad, you know, got me to support Celtic, but it soon changed once I went to see Hibs.
What inspires you?
What inspires me?
Yes.
Actually, what inspires me? To do football, to play football properly. It's no easy. Everybody thinks it's easy. As a player and as a manager, as a player, yeah, I played for Hibs and I played for Celtic and I got to a good level. But as a player, I think you have to inspire to be the best. And for me, the best right at this moment in time, although it has been Barcelona and Manchester United, Liverpool, Manchester City. You know, that's the team that I love watching, you know. And that's what inspires me to be as good as these guys. You think you're good, but you always need to go a little bit again to be special and be one of the best players in the world. And I never achieved that. I was never going, but that's what inspires you. You have to have, you know, the targets to go for. And then when I come out of football, to go into coaching and management, it inspires me to play football properly. Anybody can put a strip on and kick it and hoof it, and no, that's no coaching. You need to coach it. You need to, and the teams I just mentioned, you need to get on the ball. You need to pass it. You need to move it. You need. So that's what inspires me to be a coach, to do something. And I think it's the hardest thing to do, Darren. The hardest thing to do as a coach is coach your ball, coach your team to keep the ball. The easiest thing to do is just get your goalkeeper to kick it up the pitch and then go and play off the seconds. It's part of the game, you have to do that. But if you can keep the ball and do what Man City do and all the top teams that I've just mentioned, that has to be your inspiration as a coach and a manager, is say, I'm going into coaching and management, that's what I'm going to do. That's how my teams are going to play. And I think it's all relevant because if you're coaching in Scotland, you're not playing against Barcelona, Man City, Liverpool. You're playing against the same level. So it's up to you as a coach to do something different. And I've done that. All my teams play football. You know, we play football. When I've had success, that's why I can talk about it. And if you speak to any of my ex-players that have worked with me, they've all said they've had a football education. You know, because that's the way it is. And that's, you have to. And I feel there's a change in football. I really do. I feel now that the Scottish supporters are wanting to see football done properly. Not them all, but I feel, even you can win, but you have to win properly. And I just feel there's a wee shift and a wee change coming that, you know, we want to get entertained. We want to get entertained. We want to keep the ball. We want to move it. We want to keep good ball retention. We want to be the better team. We don't want it to be a 50-50 game. We want to go play football and have 70% of the possession. And I can see that starting to creep back into Scottish football, and that's all credit to the supporters. I think the supporters sometimes in Scotland get a raw deal. I think a lot of them are educated enough to say, aye, my team won, but it wasn't great. And I can just see a wee change coming, where I think the supporters want to win, but they want to win in style. That's what I'm basically saying. And style for me is dominate the other team with ball, good ball possession, retention, and go and score goals and get at them.
Who were your football idols?
Oh, football idols. When I was growing up, it was Jimmy Johnston, Pat Stanton, Jimmy Root, Alec Crockley, Kenny Dalglish, Danny McGrain, all these guys. And then when you look further afield, you know, you're looking at Pelés and all that stuff. So it's all these guys that inspire you to go and play football. Like anything else, you're playing football in the street with all your mates, your Kenny Dalglish, your Danny McGrain, your Pat Stanton, your Alec Crockley. And I've been lucky, you know, because I've got the opportunity of being in football. I've got to meet a lot of these guys. And when you meet your idols, you know, it makes it all the worthwhile.
Your highlight of your footballing career?
My highlight in my football career, probably first and foremost, Darren, it's being a full-time footballer. As you say, is the very first question, what made you want to be a footballer? It's when you're growing up as a kid, that's all you want to do. We all go to school, we all want to, you should have stick in for the education. When I was going to school, even at a young age, I was just going to be a footballer. Nothing was getting in my way. I was going to be a professional footballer. And we played in a fantastic league in Edinburgh, the juveniles, where all the boys' clubs, we all played together and against each other, and we played for the school. So you knew everyone coming through, and everyone had the same dreams and ambition, is to be a professional footballer. When we got to 16, I was training at Hibs 2 nights a week for the age of 14. I thought I was going in at Hibs full time, and they never took me on. So I went into painting and decorating, was in the family, so I'm a painter and decorator. But I never lost that dream and that drive and that ambition. And there's something in that to say, oh, is that right? I'll prove you wrong. So it was to become a full-time footballer, you know, a professional, full-time, do it for a living. So that was it. Signing for Swansea, signing for Falkirk, signing for Celtic, signing for Hibs, all the signings. And to do that in management, it's all the successes that you've had. You know, there's plenty of ups and downs in football. So it's the successes. And successes is not just winning. For me, the successes is producing a team that play real good football. And that goes away back to my Falkirk, right away, way back when I first went into coaching. You know, getting your team and coaching players and educating players, how the game should be played. And that, for me, is the best thing in football. The winning, believe it or not, winning Scottish Cups and getting to cup finals and promotions, that is great. But it's all done on the back of your philosophy. You have to have the philosophy. And the philosophy, we're in the entertainment business, Darren. The entertainment business, you go and entertain your supporters, you know, and all that success comes on the back of philosophy. For me, philosophy first, the winning comes with it. Sometimes winning, other coaches are winning first, no matter what it looks like. I would turn the telly off. I couldn't sleep at night if my team was like that.
Best Hibs game you've watched on TV?
Best Hibs game I've watched on TV. Well, one of the best ones I have to say was the Scottish Cup final when they won it because of the history of Hibs in the Scottish Cup final. But it was nail biting, wasn't it? You know, and one of my ex-players, Doxy, two goals. You know, but it was nail biting. Probably the other one is when they won the League Cup with John Collins. You know, that they were cruising to beat Kilmarnock 5-0. So it wasn't so much nail biting. It was so much sit back and enjoy it. But I always enjoy Hibs. Hibs are the supporters they're hard to please at times, but they're educated. Hibs have got their style of football. You know, the identity through the club, same as Celtic. And I like to see football done properly. So, it's probably these games, but it was Hibs winning the Scottish Cup with a history never winning it and coming so close so many times. And we've took a few sore ones in that cup final. So absolutely delighted that day. Delighted.
Best football anthem you've heard?
Best, well, it has to be Walk On, eh? You'll Never Walk On. Sunshine on Leaf, absolutely brilliant when you've seen them singing it after the Scottish Cup final, absolutely brilliant. And another one, when I played down in Swansea, the land of our fathers, I played for Swansea, and when they started singing that, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. And I have to say that when I played for Celtic, the tunes at Celtic and the songs at the absolutely brilliant. But that's probably the three. Sunshine on Leaf, brilliant. Suits Hibs, it's absolutely brilliant. You'll Never Walk Alone. And Land of Our Fathers down in Swansea.
What made you take me on the park against when Hibs were warming up against Irvine Meadows?
Was that the one that was it Irvine Meadow? That was
Aye.
We got lucky that game actually. Eventually we run out winners, but I think the goalkeeper should have got sent off. No, I've always done that. I just think that as a player, you know, we're privileged to play, and I think all you supporters think that we're untouchable, and no teams, you're nothing without your supporters, Darren. And if it's up to me to get a player and they just say, oh, come on the pitch and join in, you know, it brings the supporters and the players closer together. And that's what it's all about. Football, you know, all your teams, I mentioned it earlier on, all your teams is about community and bringing everyone together and all as one. You know, and the supporters and the players, you know, we're lucky, we're the ones on the pitch. Usually the real guys, the supporters. So I think if you get that bond and that rapport and that affinity with these supporters, great. And taking you on the pitch that day, it was the worst warm-up I ever seen. Your warm-up was useless.
I kind of embarrassed myself when I tried to jump over the advertising board.
But I think that's part and parcel of football. I think that's a good side of it, you know, where you see the human side of people and the character of people, and making sure, you know, we're all in it together. And that was just a wee bits and pieces that I done, you know, just to let the fans know it. We appreciate you, so that's for sure.
What was it like meeting me at the Fairy Dean Player of the Year Award?
Aye, I met you. That was the next time I met you. Well, I was thinking there, Darren, at that time there, would have been when I was playing at Hibs, it would have been about way back. Just trying to get my dates here, because I was still playing at Hibs.
So 2017?
No, when I took you on for the warm-up, that would have been a way back.
You were the manager?
97, 98. No, it would have been, well, so it would have been, as manager, it would have been
9-10 season.
Aye, that's right. Aye. So you've got it right. So, aye, great. So, what was the question again? At the gala, that's the next time I met you at gala. Well, the reason we Gala Ferradine Rovers is because John Collins is a Gala boy, and I jump about with John, and the two are into the football, and we're always watching how Gala are doing, because we take an interest from far away, so we're always watching, and it's nice to go down there because they try and play football properly, and just to be in and amongst the boys, you know, it was good. You get a laugh, you get to know the boys. You go and watch them on a Saturday. We go down sometimes and help with the training. No, all the time. We let the manager get on with it. You know, and just to show face and help them. You're playing your part.
Yeah, you know, obviously once hopefully all this calms down with the COVID and that, could you come down and visit me?
I'll see what I can do. Where are you now? Are you in? You're not in Gala, are you?
I'm in Kelso at the moment, but I'm hoping to go back to Gala.
Are you in your own accommodation?
It's shared accommodation, so I've got my own. What I'll do is I'll end this, but I'll carry on talking to you.
No bother.
Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and turn on your post notifications. Do you want to see say anything else, John?
Aye, do you not want to ask about the derby matches, Hibs and Hearts?
Oh, aye, that was another one in my list.
I knew you forgot that.
Best derby match you've played in and also managed. I actually had that.
The best derby match I played in was the Millennium Derby at Tynecastle when we beat them 3-0. The God scored. Lee God, you know who Lee God is, yeah? Mr. Sosie.
Aye.
He scored an absolute beauty. Lehman scored, and Kenny Miller come on as a young, scored the third one. But to see the third one going in, the best part of it was every Hearts fan left the stadium, and it was still about 10 minutes to go, and it was just the Hibs fans that were bouncing. It was absolutely awesome, and we knew we were going to win. Because at the time we had the best. Frank Sosie was the best, but Hearts were signing a lot of French players. And I can remember I was the captain. I can remember standing in the tunnel, and you could see all the French. Sometimes the game is won or lost in the tunnel. You know, you can psych people out. You know, you get the focus on, you get the eyes on, and I could see all the French players that were in the Hearts lineup coming along, and you could see them all standing in total. They were in total awe of Frank Sosie, you know. And you could see that, and you could just see Frank with his chest, if they say, and you as a player saying, you just knew, you know. And Frank just went out there and run the business, scored a great goal, and you just, even in the tunnel, we're not getting beat here today. But to beat the Millennium Derby 3-0, brilliant. In terms of managing them, I don't think I won one. I think I had a couple of draws. You know, I always try to play them, and sometimes in a derby that's not the best way to go. The best way to go is to go toe to toe, but that's not my beliefs. My beliefs are get the ball down and play. And when I was manager of Hibs, Darren, that was us, attack. That's what I got brought up watching Hibs. You know, Crops, Jimmy O'Rourke, Alan Gordon, you know, attack, score goals, get there. And that's what I try to bring to Hibs when I was a manager, you know, score goals and get there. But the derby games are brilliant. And I have to say this, you'll get one or two supporters that will go, no, good for Hearts, get them down there. I think Hearts got a right raw deal, a really raw deal, getting relegated when there were still so many games. I think Hearts don't deserve that. And the thing about it as well is Hibs and Hearts need each other. You're not going to get an Edinburgh Derby match. You're going to get the Scottish Cup semi-final, but you want the Derby matches. When I was a player at Hibs, the first game I looked for was the Hearts. When we're playing Hearts, when is it? Is it New Year? When is it? That's the ones you look forward to. And it's friendly. Everybody thinks all the players hate each other. Aye, when we play 90 minutes, you know, if I got a chance of getting stuck in and leaving a wee bit on somebody, then, you would do that. Well, don't worry about that. I was there for my teammates and they were all green. But after the match, you know, we after the match, it's shake hands and you bump into each other up the tune and you have a couple of beers, and that's the way it is. And that's the way football should be. So, but the derby matches were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I played in Old Firm derbies as well, which is bigger. It's a bigger derby match, but it means the same to the supporters. It just means the same to the supporters. You know, it all means the same. It all means the bragging rights. You going to your work or your mate, you know, and if Hibs have won, it's you, it's getting out the stick. And so you know what it means to the supporters. And it's just great to be part. And I miss them. I really do. I miss them. The last one, I'm just trying to think, no, tell a lie. The last one I was at was where Hearts beat Hibs at Easter Road. But the one before that was, I was at the Hibs beat Hearts at Tynecastle when Boyle scored the 2 goals. So, but great games. And as I say, we need Scottish football. We need these big games, Darren. We need them. We need everybody competing against each other. So I think Hearts will be sorely missed. And the quicker they're back in the Premier League, it's the better for Scottish football.
But what I'll do is I'll end it, but I'll carry on talking to you. Is that all right?
No bother.